Let's start with like a painful sort of case study post.
Yeah, I can't share names though. Is that okay?
No, just go ahead and give us all the names. We'll pretend that they're not the real names. Steve,
Okay. So it was a company, a tech company in a Germanic country. So Austria, Switzerland, or Germany, one of those three countries.
Uh-huh.
The acquirer and the acquired company had a business relationship. They worked together for years. The small company sold its products within in its region, and then outside that, the acquirer sold it. So they acquired them. At the time of the deal, just after the acquisition was closed, the seller's father died.
Yeah.
Just after the deal.
And the seller's father didn't actively work in the company anymore. Okay.
Right, exactly. He'd founded it and he'd retired, and the son took over. He then built it up. He sold it. The father died, and the owner, the seller, left. He took a leave of absence, and no one took over. No one took over. So now you had people in a very small company, and they're all like, okay, well, what's going on here? We got acquired very recently. What's going on now? There were other offices around. The acquiring company had other offices around, but they weren't near. They're like 50 miles away. Like that. So there's no one could pop by and say, hey, we love you. Let me introduce you to people who can take over temporarily. It's all going to be good. No one was able to step up there. So the former owner returned and things weren't the same. In his absence, the Americans have stepped in and they helped them out with the processes and invoicing and the R&D and the sales. But the culture had changed. Now they become an Americanized company, and this formal person, the former owner, who he returned, they were talking on first name terms now. They weren't using Herr Schmidt anymore. He wasn't comfortable with the relaxed environment anymore.
Yeah.
Also, the salesperson, one salesperson, he was not comfortable. He did not like being relaxed. He liked formal relationships. So he left. I don't like this. He left. And his nephew was the software developer. We're going. So now you had no sales, no leadership, no R&D.
Yeah.
Oh, also there was some communication too. The office had 2 buildings, and the lease on one building had expired, and miscommunication was, oh, we're closing the office down. So the morale was like, oh my goodness, oh, no, we're not closing the office down. It's just the other building. It's okay, everything's good. And so that was part of when leadership came in from America. He said, no, everything's good. The office stays. The turnaround began, and that was that the leadership from the American company flew over there and visited a couple of times. And he got the other people in the offices 50 miles away to also visit and say, okay, let's break it down. Let's take it one thing at a time. First, R&D. We have a team in another country that can take over the R&D. They have experience in this area. So we will not have R&D done here anymore. We're going to be, this will be a sales and invoicing office now. So it took time, but the R&D was taken over successfully.
Okay.
And it took months to do that. Okay. The sales was taken over by the other offices. Okay. They had to learn what the product was, though. They had to learn how to sell it. And so we need a marketing team to be brought in to communicate internally how to sell it, and to communicate to the customers the value of why the company was sold, why you should stay with us. And it took a while, but the American company had the deeper pockets to be able to weather the storm. And the product was embedded in a bigger product and has been successful and is now sold around the world.
Were you involved in that at all?
Can you tell?
Well, did they bring you in in the valley?
No, I was there at the beginning. I did the welcome to the company speech.
So was this like your big learning? Like, was this like the period in time where you were like, was this your experience that you had where you were like, this is a problem?
I never had such country cultural differences before.
I see.
I never had, and it was a real like eye opener as the difference in country cultures. I had done Chinese acquisitions when we were so careful. I was really caught by surprise by the culture differences. I was frustrated by the other offices not getting involved early enough, but I was relieved when leadership, both leadership from America and leaders of the offices, started taking over and assuming responsibility.
Well, and it seems to me like, okay, if they pull the R&D out and then they're doing it with their existing infrastructure, and then they pull the sales out and they're doing that with their existing infrastructure, it starts to beg the question, why is the company there at all? Like, why wouldn't you just remove it? And
so this company had a policy of not letting people go.
Great.
And so they did over the years. I know the lady who used to do invoicing got involved in contracts, and so she got reskilled in she was bilingual German English, so she was very helpful to the European office, and she got retooled in that. So invoicing got taken over. The support, I think he started working from home. It's been a few years, but nobody was let go. Nobody was let go. That was a policy of the company, and that was appreciated by the employees. So they had very long-term staff because that's kind of the feel of the family feel of the company.